All right, so we are going to be looking at polygons, and our shapes are either classified as polygons or not polygons or non-polygons. So if you look at the two examples here, we have quite a few different examples, and it asks you in the space below to write a definition in your own words for what is a polygon. So go ahead and take a look at some of the images on the left. And how are they similar? What do they all have? What do they have in common? And then take a look at the images on the right side. How are those different from the polygons? Why are they not polygons? So do your best to write your definition and come up with as many examples as you can. And then the next time that we have class, we will go over that and we will fine tune our definitions. And the next way that we can classify our polygons is according to the number of sides that they have. And this is how we name our polygons. So if we have a three-sided polygon, the name is a triangle. Now the polygon term itself comes from the Greek words, and the Greek root poly means many. So a polygon is any figure that has many sides. 3 is the smallest number that we can have and actually create a shape. So if you look at that triangle, that prefix tri means 3. So we have a triangle. Our next is a 4-sided polygon. You might know a lot of different names for 4-sided polygons, but the generic term is a quadrilateral. And it's that generic prefix quad that means 4. So if you knew someone who was a quadruplet, and then there were 4 of them. So quad means 4. The next figure we have is a 5-sided figure, and the name for that is a pentagon. And I like to think a little trick is I see that pen, and I think of a pen or a pencil, and I hold it in my hand, and I have 5 fingers. So that's how I use that to help me remember. A 6-sided figure is called a hexagon. So if you have 6 sides, it's a hexagon. A 7-sided figure, well, this actually has 2 different names that we can go with. And so you'll find over time that a lot of math comes from Greek or ancient Greece or ancient Rome. And so the ancient Greek word for a 7-sided figure is a heptagon. Heptagon. But the ancient Roman word for a 7-sided figure, so that in Latin, if you study Latin, it's called a septagon. And that has to do with the Latin word for 7, which is septem. If you study a foreign language, Spanish, Portuguese, or French, you'll see that that word for 7 in their language is probably very similar. So our next figure, we would count our sides, and I just kind of mark them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 sides, and an 8-sided figure is called an octagon. And in Spanish, you could think of ocho as 8. Well, octem in Latin is 8. That's where that comes from. You could think of an octopus that has the 8 tentacles. That octa, the prefix means 8. Let's look at our next figure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sides. And a 10-sided figure is called a decagon. And it comes from that Latin word decem, which means 10. Our next, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And a 12-sided figure. The name for that is called a dodecagon. And so if you think of dos is 2, and then the deca is 10. So 2 and 10 is 12, so it's a dodecagon. Other figures beyond 12 are usually just called an n-gon. So if it has 14 sides, it's called a 14-gon. If it has 19 sides, it's called a 19-gon. If it has 100 sides, it's called a 100-gon. And that's how we name our polygons.